Alright guys, it's November 13th, 2017. I've had a bunch of messages on my Facebook page about, take a wild guess, Bitcoin. And people asking me what I think about it, and where it's headed, and if it's a scam, and everything else. So I figured I'd make a little couple minutes video about it. The thing about Bitcoin is this: regardless of whether you think it's a scam or not, it is undeniable that it's made people fortunes. It's probably like nothing I've ever seen in terms of return and times the time it's taken. The fact is this: $100 in Bitcoin in the very beginning when it came out, it's worth around $30 million now. $30 million. So you can do the multiplier yourself. It's basic math. What $1,000 would be. That's what some people have made in this. So where does it stand now? The thing is this: Bitcoin is unlike anything else. It's a virtual currency, and it's susceptible to a ton of shit that can go against it. It's not a tangible asset. It's not gold. It's not silver. It's not currency. It's not, even though currency has become fiat money and losing its value across the board, we still need currency to operate. So that's the reason why Forex is, in my opinion, especially for retail traders with small accounts, is the best market to trade. Because, and this is key, and this is why it applies to Bitcoin, because of liquidity. It's a zero-sum game. When you buy a currency or a currency pair, there's somebody on the other side that's selling it. And when you exit that position, somebody's buying it. There's always buyers and sellers. And that is absolutely key for trading, because you don't want to be left, holding your dick with nobody to buy on the other side, and you have nobody to sell to. So that leads me to the next point. I'm not gonna get into the politics of Bitcoin, because it would take hours to dissect that. But I'll tell you this: you have to be very careful of the old pump and dump scheme, because that's exactly where we're at, in my opinion, right now. The massive move in Bitcoin has already occurred. It's at $7,000. I think we're topping, technically, if you want my real answer. I put a pic a couple of weeks ago when it was on the pullback at about $6,200. I said we're going to $7,000 in November. Sure enough, it blew through that. It went to $7,500. I think we're due for a little pullback. Now, does it mean that Bitcoin cannot get to 10,000, 12,000? No, absolutely not, because volume will drive that. But this is what you got to know if you haven't been involved in the markets, or if you haven't educated yourself the way I have. The large holders of Bitcoin are gonna push that fucking narrative to the fools, to the sheep, retail buyers, and you're seeing it already. You cannot open a web page without a fucking Bitcoin ad next to it. YouTube, Bitcoin's going to $50,000. Okay? That's the first red flag if you have a little bit of experience. Because what's happening is this: the smart money, the smart investors that saw this fad, because that's what it is, okay? It is susceptible to so many things, and it is one of the riskiest things right now at this point where it's at, in my opinion. Because government can shut it down, and at the end of the day, even merchants that might accept Bitcoins, you're always subject to that. The moment somebody says, I don't accept it, that cryptocurrency can become obsolete. So there's a lot of factors moving against you. Like I said, it's nothing tangible. It's not official legal tender like the dollar is, or the euro, or the yen, or whatever, right? Currencies, or gold, or silver. So what's going on now is they are pushing the spin to those who don't know, because for them to get out of these massive positions at the very top, they need buyers on the other side. They need liquidity. So you're gonna have 1 million people now buying to the bullshit narrative that Bitcoin is going to 50,000. They're gonna rush in and buy. The smart money is gonna get out at the top, and then it's gonna fucking tank. Very simple trick, very old trick, pump and dump, especially through marketing. And it's gonna leave everybody essentially fucked. Okay? So it doesn't matter what you think about Bitcoin. It doesn't matter, because it has unquestionably made people unbelievable fortunes in just these last 7-8 years. Okay, so it worked for that time frame. But at $7,000, you would have to be fucking brain dead to buy Bitcoin right now. So that's my answer to you. For these specific reasons, is that the smart money needs a full new batch of numbnuts to buy into the narrative, to come into the market with buy orders so that they can get out of their position at the top. And then you're gonna be left literally holding your dick and watch this bitch pull back to 2,000 bucks, maybe below eventually. So that's the short answer. Be very, very, very careful. The masses always seem to get in at the worst possible times. It happened with the tech bubble, right? Everybody's telling you at cocktail parties how they're making millions on tech stocks. People got in at the very top in 2000, right before the fucking crash, because they didn't want to miss the ride. They got fooled by that narrative, okay? That's called emotional trading and investing. They got in, they brought in liquidity for the smart money who had gotten in at the very bottom for them to now get out. They use your buy orders to get out of their massive fucking positions, and then there's no more buyers. So you can't sell it. You literally, you can't sell it if someone else on the other side is not willing to buy. So be extremely careful about, in my opinion, getting into Bitcoin right now. And I repeat, can it go to 10,000 bucks? Yes, you can. You can go to 20,000 bucks, because volume will drive that. If you get 5 million people started buying in the next 3-4 months, yes, prices could blow up. Okay, but it's an artificial pump based on volume. There's no intrinsic value behind it. Okay? This thing doesn't operate any fields, doesn't produce anything. It's essentially not in the literal definition of the term, but it's basically a pyramid scheme in the term, in a way that you need others to come into the pool for you to get out. Okay? So be very, 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 very careful. The big move has happened. You and me have missed out. It happens. It's okay. It happens, okay? So stick to what you know, and keep in mind, this is the overall thesis of this video. Trade something that has liquidity. The Forex market, when I started trading it back in 2009, had a volume of $3.5 trillion, which still dwarfed the fucking Dow Jones or the New York Stock Exchange by 10 times. In less than 10 years, it's $5.5 trillion now, changing hands day in and day out. 80 to 90% of that is done by central banks and corporations. The other 10%, 15% by retail traders, okay, and investors. So you'll always have somebody to buy your other side of the position. So you can always get out. You'll never get stuck, okay? So that's my answer on Bitcoin. Doesn't matter what you think of it fundamentally, whether it's a scam or not, because clearly, even if it was a scam, even a scam can make you money for a short period of time. But should you get in now at $7,000 in Bitcoin? All right, buyer beware. That's all I'm saying. Buyer beware. Just you know, just be willing, be prepared to possibly lose 80% of your investment in the next months or couple of years. I don't know. It may that thing may get shut down tomorrow by governments. Cryptocurrencies do not serve the purpose of central bankers, because they want to push fiat money to the people and not some fucking cryptocurrency. Okay? So be very careful. Just use some common sense. The moment you see, okay, there's the piece of wisdom you should get out of this. The moment you see a huge marketing push, okay, the moment you see something as the fucking hottest thing on the planet, is a big red flag. And conversely, the moment you see blood in the streets, like I'm seeing in gold and silver right now, is when you want to buy. Is when you want to buy. So I stick to my original thesis. Gold and silver will absolutely blow up. I'm still very convinced. The dollar is about to resume its downtrend, probably as soon as December. Okay? And so if you want to put your money in anything, that's what I would do. You can buy the metals themselves, or better yet, to leverage your positions, you want to buy junior miners. Okay? Forget about Bitcoin at this point in time. Trust me, you're gonna thank me for it one day. All right, thank you.